Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. The With me, I got Geo here right now. Sean might show up a little bit later, and Reds. Reds is driving, and he claims that he's the only one around here who's got a job. So that's just how that goes. Um, but what I'm planning on doing here? Oh, geez, and I got this kind of hanging down there. I was gonna kind of drag it in there, but what I'm gonna be doing here is there was a video that was released. Hold on a second. On the 8th of February. Now I just saw it in my recommended feed today, and basically what it is. Now I'm not gonna play the video, but I do encourage everybody to go over and watch it. It's called on a channel called Big Think, and it's called "Shutting Down Flat Earthers, Neil deGrasse Tyson style." And it's a 4 minute video. Like I said, I'm not going to play it. I don't want any. I didn't get any permissions for it, and plus I'm not there to critique what he said. That's not what this is about. But basically, the gist of it is that the reason why Neil deGrasse Tyson will not have a debate with flat earthers is because he does not see the value in debating something, even by the word debate, if the other team isn't going to bring anything to the table. If you got nothing to bring, if you're going to pull a Jeranism, what do you call it? If you got nothing to bring, then you're basically not in a debate. You're just one guy brings proof, the other guy brings opinion, and how do you gauge that? But another further point that he makes is that debates themselves shouldn't be about empirical facts. Debates should be about subjective issues. If you want to talk about the benefits of something or the advantages of something or something like that, but not about just demonstrable fact. That's not a debate anymore. So that's basically what his video is about. But if you want to go listen to it and stuff like that, I highly encourage it. It's a great short video, and he makes a lot of great points. Oh wait, I didn't even have my screen shared. Isn't that funny? All right, hold on a second. Let me go ahead and do this then. Anyway, I was talking about this video. And but like I said, I'm not going to play the video because I do not have permission to do so. And I'm not critiquing its material. But what I found funny is that obviously below that I wanted to see what names showed up and what supporters of flat earthers, and it was just trying to see what everybody was bringing to this discussion, and the and I have to honestly say, if irony was a web page, this would be it. Because here's Neil deGrasse Tyson stating that he won't have a debate with folks who just bring opinion and subjective truths and all this other stuff. He won't have that debate. And what is it that every flat earther who came to the bottom of this comment section brought? Nothing but opinions, and they lie, and insults. I mean, how? I mean, like I said, if irony was a web page, this would be the one right here, because they did exactly what he said was the subject, which is basically flat earthers bring nothing to the discussion. Flat earthers would get a lot more debates and a lot more attention in the sense of being taken seriously if they actually brought something to the discussion, but they don't. All they ever bring is they lie and insults, and some of them bring their interpretation of the Bible. Others bring their anti-establishment issues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. None of them bring anything actually to the discussion. None of them. And so I got myself involved in a couple of the threads on here, and so I just wanted to spotlight some of the people that I actually spoke to. Well, should I say commented with in comment threads. And I just wanted to go over those, and and Geo's here just to smack his own head. I'm trying to smack the cold out of him, and what do you call it? And that's just how this is gonna roll. So anyway, so let's go on to the first one here. First one,
Sly, can you do me a favor and actually share your screen to me so I don't suffer from the 30 seconds of lag between
oh
the
shit,
call
okay.
and YouTube?
My bad. Hold on a second here. Share screen. Which would be this one, and is it going to double share or is it going to blow up?
It should be fine. I can see it.
Okay, you can see it. Good.
Yep.
Okay. Good. So, and all right. So, this is what we got here. So I put a couple of the short ones first, so that so we could just get those out of the way and get a little har out of it. So the first one was this, all caps. Don't we all love all caps? As a matter of fact, I wonder if I can zoom this a little bit, because I always get yelled at because I always put text up on the screen that people on mobile devices can't read. Let's see. Now, these comments are basically all written to, obviously Neil deGrasse Tyson. It says, "You are very good influencing other people. You are very dangerous. The earth is flat and stackinary." Stackinary. So I wrote back in all caps, "Prove it." Now, this guy here, Mike Blackbird, who will actually come into this video a couple of times here, what do you call it? I love responses like this. First of all, this right here is an example of what Dr. Tyson was talking about. Bring something. Don't just bring your opinion, and don't bring this crap. Bring something.
Let me guess, 80% of the comments that we are going to talk about now can be summarized with citation needed.
Well, yeah, that, yeah. Or empty channels. Now, everybody knows that the very first thing that I do before I comment on somebody's stuff is I open up their profile. Why? Because we're on YouTube, and if you're commenting on YouTube, I want to see what you got. What do we got here? Nothing. Okay, he's got one subscriber. It's probably himself. This is what he's got. Okay, the moon and shadow of a cloud over the sea. That's it. I don't know what the hell this is. Nothing of any value. Nothing of any discussion value. So I just said, prove it. Then this Mike Blackbird comes in with the maturity level that we've all come to expect from flat earthers, which is you stumbling around, sleepwalking again, sly in parentheses, sleeping. Okay, well, go back to sleep, buddy. And then, of course, I commented on that, said nothing like the argument quality of flat earthers. And somebody put on here conspiracy cat strikes again, but I don't know what's up with that. Maybe he's got a new thing out. But this is the quality of comments that are on this thing here. Now, next one, James Scott. The Earth is pear shaped. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yes, Neil deGrasse Tyson said that it's more pear shaped than it is an oblate spheroid. When you learn what that means in geometry, then you can make a comment about it. So I went, yep. Got a photo of FE yet? And now he wrote back, why would I have a photo of Chimera? Does that mean anything to you, Gio?
Well, I know what a chimera is, but I have no idea why he's talking about it.
Yeah, so.
And by the way, you know what a chimera is, right?
Actually, no, I don't.
Yeah, it's a fictional animal, a mix between two different species. Something like a Pegasus, for example, would be a chimera.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I have no idea why he's talking about it.
I've heard the word before, but I honestly, I'd never heard it used as in knowing what it is. And then Mike Blackbird comes back again. Sly bag. Every photo and footage is of FE. Derp. Really? So yeah, come on. And then what do you call it? And then he says, James, that dude Sly is a complete scumbag, satanic ball worshiper. He's already dead. Okay. I don't know if that's a threat or not, but I mean, quite honestly, yeah, I don't know. And what do you call it? And then this guy jumps in and he says, well, then show a photo of flat Earth. And then I also put in here, then why, what do you call it? Why would they do that when childish ad homs are more important? So I mean, this is the kind of stuff brought by flat earthers. Next one, Johnny Be Good. Now, as I understand it, Johnny Be Good is a friend, if not contributor to Nathan Oakley, I think it was, at one point. I don't know if he still is. What do you call it? And he's obviously talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He says, "Sounds like someone is scared. If all I had were lies and cartoons to represent my model, I would be too."
Oh, the irony is it's strong in this one, obviously.
Oh, it's strong.
Stop before you click that.
What's that?
You will ask him to produce a picture of the flat Earth, and he can't.
Close.
Damn it.
So let's see. Now got other people who jumped in on this. You realize?
Yeah, okay. Ricardo was faster than you, obviously.
Yeah, he was. I
But the
didn't
idea
get
is
into
the
this
same.
one at that time. Yeah, and I came in many hours later. And what do you call it? He says, what do you call it? You realize that your description applies equally to flat earthers, except they don't have a model that works, and there are real photos of Earth from space. Johnny Be Good says, sweet, then it shouldn't be a problem linking a couple of them. No cartoons, though, which basically means I'm going to call anything you show a cartoon. So I jumped in on this, and I turned around and said, no cartoons, though, says a flat earther. Oh my God, I nearly spit out my coffee. Which was true. I damn near spit out my coffee when he said no cartoons, though. And what do you call it? So down a little bit further, he says, Sly, the difference is we don't claim to have authentic photos. We wouldn't deceive the poor sheeple with CGI and paintings like your NASA gods do. I don't know why they keep on calling them gods. I don't worship NASA. In fact, I'm quite disappointed by them recently. But so I wrote back. I said the difference between is we don't claim to have authentic photos. I said because there are none of FE. Yet you demand that you be shown photos which you will deny. And then he says we wouldn't deceive the poor sheeple. I said except for claiming that the Earth is flat, even though you admit not having proof. That's not professing truth. That's demonstrating hypocrisy. And let's see here. Oh. He's in my chat right now. What do you call it? It says the difference, we don't claim to have authentic photos. That is because you cannot take a photo of something that doesn't exist. Why haven't you figured that out? Which is a very fine point. Everybody send him some bacon. But, I mean, it's one of those, show me the photos, show me the, because everybody else is using cartoons. Typical flat earth crap. Now this guy's he's a weird egg right here. This Johnny Five, Amoris, Lezu, Christie, whatever now. Unless I'm mistaken, let me just check here. Was this the guy? Yeah, the guy who had all the Confederate flags all over his shit and Bible verses at the same time. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and Kent Hovind videos.
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
We already know the type we're talking about here.
Yeah. Definitely, he's definitely putting in his application for Westboro Baptist here.
Actually, he wouldn't be accepted there. At least they have standards.
But he says Mr. Tyson is a coward. He knows he will lose in all debates with flat earthers. Yeah, it's kind of hard to win a debate when the flat earther doesn't bring anything. Tyson knows he has no evidence for the globe. So, what do you call it? And then his buddy jumped in. Right, bro. Right on, bro. Truth fears no investigation. So I turned around and said, cool. Care to show that independent, repeatable investigation? Because unless I recall correctly, this is what he has. full moon during the daytime, which is not a full moon that would be impossible on a globe at all.
Yeah, just go to that video, please. I'm actually curious.
I bet you it's on opposite. Let's see. Bet you it's on opposite horizons.
Yeah,
Let's,
either that or it's not a full moon. One of the two.
yeah. Okay. So sun on the horizon. Get this crap ass sound off. And the opposite horizon. Thank you.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Next time, Nunya business, hold a ball up next to that moon when you still see the sun, and you tell me if you see the same phase. If you see a full ball next to the full moon. Yawn. So just echoed claims. Let's see. But like I said, cool. Can show that independent, repeatable investigation. If that's the extent of his investigation, yeah, not tough to demonstrate. So, oops, that was him again. So, and then moving on to the next one here. Today's mana. I'm gonna call it. Now he didn't respond, of course, but he said how can the globe Earth be objective reality when it is premised on pseudoscience?
Yeah, in what way is it premised on pseudoscience?
Right.
Like, he would have to show that one of the foundations we use is false.
Right.
And for obvious reasons, he can't.
Right. Neil knows that he can't defend nonsense. He is acting. His acting can only take him so far. And what do you call it now? He says that now this Mike Wade jumped in and says that's why Flatties gave up trying to defend the flat Earth. If easier to BS about the globe, If easier to BS about the globe, as all FE believers do, than to defend flat Earth nonsense. Now,
I think he wanted to say it's easier.
Yeah, I think he did too.
It's easier to BS about the globe as well,
Yeah.
as all FE believers do, than defend flat Earth nonsense. Yeah,
Now he jumped back and he says, genuine independent research not only debunks the globe Earth claims, but supports the non-rotating Earth plane. No evidence of curvature. Well, where's your work on that? No evidence of spin. Where's your work on that? No evidence of gravity. What's holding your ass in your chair? No evidence of bendy H2O. Actually, that's coming up soon, even though it's already pretty much part of every observation that we have looking at the horizon of an ocean. Let's see.
Honestly, I would just send this guy the video of Bob Nodell
Yeah.
actually proving that the Earth is spinning at 50 degrees per hour.
Well, that's the thing that always happens every time now that I bring up Bob Nodell. I get flat earthers bust out laughing, and all this, and because they have him and Jeranism as paid shills, and they have what's his name, Mark Sargent, as part of the organized opposition.
Oh, Sargent is organized opposition now as well?
Well,
that's a new one for me.
I had heard somebody say that because of the fact that they were considered to be not real flat earthers. And which, show me a real flat earther, Jesus. But I turned
Then
around.
it's a mixture of absolute paranoia and no real Scotsman fallacy.
No. But what do you call it? So I wrote him back. I said, genuine independent research not only debunks I'm quoting him, genuine independent research not only debunks the globe, but it supports a non-rotating Earth plane. And I wrote on here, clicked user's channel, no independent research displayed. Why? Because, and I quoted him again, he can't defend nonsense. That's why. So in other words, we had just another mouthpiece here. Next one. Okay, these get a little bit longer now. Michael Bruno. One thing I find there's something that I find absolutely hysterical. People trying to inch their way into a more serious or to be taken more seriously by claiming that they're not flat earthers. I absolutely love it when people try and do that. And what do you call it? Because they're so easy to trigger into, giving themselves away, basically. But he says, the one thing that I find so funny, I'm not picking sides here, which is usually the words of somebody who's actually picked a side. Uh, but if you, but if all you smart people and scientists were bothered were so bothered by flat Earth, you would do the simplest test in the world to end it. Now he goes
Yeah,
on and
we
on.
did. That's the point. We are doing this over and over again, yet flat earthers choose to ignore it
No,
or claim it to be fake.
yeah, no, his newest one is he wants somebody with a high power zoom lens on the ISS to look down like basically at Australia and show things upside down.
Uh,
I'm not exactly sure what that would prove in the first place, because you could pan a camera down underneath you and everything would look upside down. So,
okay.
I mean, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
Even
I
if it was
understand
a
what you mean, yeah.
plane, I mean that just geometrically speaking. And what do you call it? Mike Wade jumped in. He says, "I have a better one. Produce a working flat Earth model. It's much less expensive and pointless. And much less expensive and pointless than your clueless idea." And then he just kept on going and going and going. Why can't they go up there? Just press zoom, from the ISS and look at things upside down like that. And then that's when I jumped in. I said, not picking side here, but, and then I said, but being an FE, right? Now here's the funny part. The comprehension of this guy was just absolutely awesome. I was laughing every time I commented on this. Now you saw what I wrote here. I quoted him by saying, "I'm not picking sides here, but," and then I put on here, "but being an FE." Here's the funny part. He said, "Please highlight where I said but being an FE."
Well, I think he just didn't understand that that was you commenting on what he said.
Right. But, I mean, somebody who seems to have, a grasp on the world and he knows what proof he needs can't grasp the simple concept of quotation marks. So, go figure. Hey, what's up, Miles? But, so it's just, I just find that so, he says, or are you dyslexic? Because after a second review, I can't seem to find that line. So he put in two separate posts to say that. And I was just like, then where'd I come down here? Oh, wait. Let's see here. Oh, and I was explaining to him in repetition what I was talking about by quoting him. It's NASA throwing globes in people's face. And I turned around and says, "You being an FE. They should be the ones to have to provide any proof. And you have 3 videos of video gameplay on your channel. You being an FE. Live stream from the real ISS. You
Yeah.
being an FE."
Wait,
What's that?
how would he able? I mean, he's already determined that anything that is streamed on the ISS is fake, right? So in
Right.
what way could we actually satisfy this demand?
No, you can't.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. And then it says, "Show us upside down cities and more from a live stream. So you can claim it as CGI, you being an FE." "Now watch all the cognitive dissonance sufferers jump on this with their emotions. You being an FE," because only flat earthers are trying to get people triggered. Let's see here. "Press zoom. Or is that a forbidden button?" Nope, but you being an FE would offer the answer CGI. "I am not here to argue because you have nothing to argue, being an FE." "So much censoring of flat earth content because they tag their videos as proof yet provide none, as FEs. What do you call it? What the globe heads are doing to flat earth. You are defending flat earth." Let's see. See how I ask a simple task, because he kept on going on about the zoom from the ISS. I said, "The results of which you would deny anyways. But the Himwari 8sat gives you what you want every 10 minutes.
Stop. I just want to correct you there. It's not Himuwari, it's Himawari.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
was
supposed
I
to
was
be you there.
I was writing on my phone and it didn't I didn't have the spelling in front of me, so I probably botched it twice here.
Right, okay, just
Yeah.
that you don't repeat that mistake because that's That's hurting my eyes.
Well.
And what the fuck? My headset already needs to be recharged. I think the battery's fucking broken. Give me a second.
Okay.
There we go.
All
You can
right, and then
continue.
further along, people get offended and come up with excuses. Really? Where's your FE model? Cue the excuses. Please highlight where I said, but being an FE. And I wrote on here, interesting. No understanding of the world around you, and you didn't even notice the lack of quotation marks. Wow. And then he didn't really get back to me on this, or at least I don't think he did. Oh, he did. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He says, have I said that it's CGI? Your mind
Yeah,
is
no, he has not directly said it, but he has heavily implied it by saying that we should show a real live stream from the ISS,
from the
implying that all
real
other ones
ISS,
are
right?
fake.
Right. And then what do you call it? So in conclusion, my first comment is still the simplest test. I said, and you get it every 10 minutes from the Himwari satellite. Why do you keep avoiding that response? And then it keeps on going on and on. He's just like, then he jumps straight to the 8 inches per mile squared thing, which this one got funny. Hold on a second here. The Pythagorean theorem is for measuring drop over a perfect sphere without an atmosphere. Earth is not a perfect sphere, and Earth has an atmosphere. And then he turns around and says, which you can find plenty of videos online disproving that equation. Think about that. He's trying to say that the equation is disproven.
Well, the equation obviously itself is correct. The only thing he could do is that it doesn't fit with the data.
Right. That's what he could claim, but he doesn't go there. I turned around and I said the equation is mathematical fact. Not sure.
Wait,
if
are you
can...
saying that he doesn't understand how mathematics works and evidence gathering works?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm
first time
so
with
shocked.
him. What do you call it? I put on here the equation is a mathematical fact. Not sure you can disprove a geometric equation. I'm pretty sure you haven't done any self-measuring. He says, I'm pretty sure you haven't done any self-measuring yourself. Not sure why he doubled that up, but... and then I put on here, click on Michael's channel, which is empty, and I said, you should talk. What do you call it? Then he writes me back, it can actually easily disproved. It's not a mathematical fact at all. Look up the definition, and it has nothing to do with measuring over a perfect sphere. What Earth are you living on? Right? So I responded to him. And I said, it can actually be easily disproved. I said, it's a mathematical equation. And then he says, look, I quoted him, look up the definition. It has nothing to do with measuring over a perfect sphere. I said, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt as it relates to the subject. But you're right. The relevant Pythagoras theorem is actually a two-dimensional measurement over a perfect circle. And you claiming that the equation has been disproven really begs the question why you would even discuss it then. Then I responded to another guy here. I said, Mike is an FE. He has no interest in holding himself to the same standards of proof and experimentation. It makes it easier for him to just say nuh-uh to everything, which is pretty much what every flat earther does anyway. Heaven forbid he would actually have to substantiate his commentary with his own work. And then he himself actually never came back, and so that was pretty much the end of that one. Now let's see. Now this was actually the first one I got into, and it's a pretty long one, but I'm just going to cover the highlights here. What do you call it? Because this guy Seek the Truth put on here. Who else is here looking for flat Earth comments? And what do you call it? And at the time that I had jumped on, I guess somebody else, the only flat earthers who were on here, or people who seemed to be defending the flat earthers, or flat Earth, was Steve Mack Productions, Show No Fear, and somebody named, I think it was Ice Pick, Real Ice Pick, right? Well, I went to all
Wait,
three.
stop.
What's that?
Ice Picks comment. The globe, space, evolution, aliens, dinosaurs, and the entire heliocentric models are all lies. We are coming for you. That's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But so I put on here because, like I said, the first thing I do before I get into a comment fight with somebody is I look at their channel and see what they got, because I am interested to know what you got. And what do you call it? So I put on here. I says, "Don't you love it when FEs claim no curvature, having done no research of their own? Show no fear is more like show no research. Steve Mac Productions seems to lack any productions. And Real Ice Pick seems to have hours of research on basketball video games, which he does. He's got like pages and pages of them, but no independent research about the shape of the Earth. So really, listen to the reasoning in the above video," meaning what Dr. Tyson said. "If you ain't got nothing, what is there to talk about?" Now, first one to jump back was Steve Mac Productions, and he was trying to make some kind of defense of the name of his thing. He says, "Read my recent comment. The name of my channel is a joke, based on a real guy called Steve Mac, made several years ago." Okay, I don't really care about your username, to be honest with you. Otherwise, I'd be calling GeoStreber GeoDork.
That would actually be fine. I mean, that's just a literal translation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He says the basketball video game videos were big reports, and what do you call it? I don't know why he was commenting on them, because they're actually not on his channel. He says, sorry I liked video games. I didn't know scientific research and playing games did not fit in the same personality. You are using rhetoric and nonsense to prove nonsense. Actually, I'm not." And then I said, "The name of your channel is irrelevant, although ironic in this discussion of producing facts. And the interest in video games is called an observation regarding the overwhelming content on the channel. However, if you had actually embraced the context of my comment, it was not that if you do like video games, but rather that you don't have any independent research on the subject at hand, making your argument in favor of FE, or your argument in favor of FE, well, flat." And what do you call it? And I think at one point he actually came back to me. Oh, show no fear. This guy is classic. This is everything that I have come to know about a flat earther commenter. This was one of the three guys that I highlighted, because I said, show no fear meant show no research. Now, this guy wrote 2 books. Actually, he wrote a couple of them. These big long book comments. I am not going to read through them all. You can go ahead and read through them if you wish. But here's some highlights on this, because I thought this was just like awesome. Now, we're all used to flat earthers who like to claim that they are something that they aren't, try and make up a position of authority to say that they know what they're talking about. Now, listen to this guy's resume. Now, like I said, I am not going to ever say that somebody didn't serve in the military unless it's abundantly clear that they didn't, which comes into play as a part of this. But this guy's resume just sounds awfully strange. I mean, it's kind of like Sheldon Cooper went flat earther. What do you call it? So let me go on with this here. What do you call it? Funny, but I not only have I done my research, but I'm still doing it. Okay, well, it's not on his channel. And though I'm not a flatty yet, yeah, that's bullshit. I do know that as a 27-year professionally careered specialist marksman and master instructor, not once over 35 years of shooting millions of rounds across multiple high-power platforms, out to targets well beyond 4,000 meters, have I ever had to adjust, factor, or calculate for any Coriolis effect or Earth curvature. I am a serious dead-eye shot, and I don't care what the distance is. If I place you in my sights, you're already dead. Okay. So, and then he goes on to this about what do you call it? Neither were I ever taught as a greenhorn sniper, and neither was it ever expected of me to teach for such nonsensical adjustments as a spec ops instructor teaching others. Okay. So this guy's got a couple of neat little buzzwords under his shit. I think he was just an enthusiast. Probably got pissed off because he got kicked out of the military. Let's see. I've taught elite special police and military in over 30 countries for nearly 2 decades. And the words Coriolis effect and Earth curvature adjustments have never once been uttered. Well, Earth curvature adjustments probably wouldn't be, but Coriolis definitely would be. Earth curvature would be something that you might take into account for long range artillery.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I remember correctly, the marksmanship like handbook of the U.S. military actually ends at 1 kilometer.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and in the artillery handbook, you actually find a table that describes the effects of the Coriolis effect.
Right, it's called Table H.
Right.
And what do you call it? And which he obviously didn't reference here. Let's see, were they ever uttered? So, would you like to explain this? Being as it appears that most sheeple out there, okay, I'm not a flatty yet, but you're going to call me a sheeple. Being as it appears that most sheeple out there seem to have the false impression of that we do have, okay, whatever the hell that meant, because I've been asking all these Glober channel hosts to try, and all's they've had for me so far is blatantly made up BS, pseudo garbage excuses, Hollywood movie quotes, and insults. Well, he's kind of running in here with nothing but insults. Let's see here. Now, you're going to love this one. You ready for this, Gio?
Well, I suppose I should be ready, but no.
Let's see. I don't get any of that shit from flatties. So far, they've provided nothing but logical, testable, and real-world explanations that make sense. And then
citation needed.
And then here it comes. And I taught at a college level psychology prior to serving.
Look, being at a college or a hospital for psychology does not mean that you are the teacher. You might just be the test subject.
And plus, tell me one time that you have ever heard. I don't know if I have any teachers in my crew here, but what do you call it? Tell me one teacher that has ever referred to a psychology course as college level.
I mean, there might be, but no idea.
Well, college level would be an identifier, so therefore that would have to mean there would be other levels like high school level. There's no high school level psychology.
Actually, yeah, there is. Over here, you can take psychology at like 11th to 12th grade.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. Well,
but that's like when you're 17 and 18, so you could be at university at this point as well.
Okay, well,
under some circumstances.
Yeah, but that would also be under gymnasium, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. So basically, you're already on your way to college anyway.
Pretty much, yes.
What do you call it? Let's see. Prior to serving, so he was a college level, instructor, professor, teacher, prior to serving in the military. Okay. Before you go making assumptions about my level of intellect, so you tell me, kiddo. Why should I not hear what they have to say? Now, listening to what people have to say is never a problem. However, asking them to justify it is something else. And then he went on and wrote this book, and to be honest with you, I didn't read it, because I'm not going to read all of that shit if this shit doesn't even make sense. So, what I responded to him with, what do you call it? I said, I quoted him, funny, but I have done my own research and I'm still doing it. And I said, and where can this research be found? Because your channel is empty. And although I'm not a flatty yet, and I said, really? After saying, and he said this in another comment, it says, at the Nazi, oops, I'm at NASA Center. What do you call it? I said, sure, you couldn't be an FE. Let's see. Now, this was funny. Targets well beyond 4,000 meters. Have I ever had to adjust, factor, or calculate for any Coriolis effect or Earth curvature? And I said, what were you shooting at specifically at 4,000? Or, no, what were you shooting specifically at 4,000 meters? I wanted to know what weapon system he was using.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a difference in using a sniper rifle to shoot a person or using some big ass caliber cannon thing to hit a tank.
Now, would you like to know one neat fact? What
Sure.
do you call it? The world record hit by a sniper is under 4,000 meters.
How close it is to is it to 4,000?
I think it's like 3,500.
Holy shit, that's fucking impressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that's more than 2 miles.
right, but so he's saying that he routinely goes at 4,000. Well, why aren't you in the record books there, buddy? Let's see. He says, I don't care what the distance is. If I place my sights, you're dead already. I said, now that's not how marksmanship works. It's starting to sound a little fishy. Okay, it's sounding a little fishy because if you are not making adjustments for at least your weather, what do you call it, wind conditions, terrain, temperature, all those neat things that actually will modify the flight of your bullet, just start turning around and saying, when I place you in my sights, that's not even the terminology. He says, what do you call it? I've taught elite specialists and police and military in over 30 different countries, and I said, I'm not convinced you have.
Yeah, that one is rather unrealistic.
Yeah, because I've been asking all these Glober channel hosts, and I said, still not claiming to be a flat earther, huh? And I don't get that shit from flatties. And I turned around and says, actually, you get nothing from FEs. No tests, no measurements, no calculations, no repeatable experimentation. You just get perspective, and they lie. What do you call it? Then he says, Ed, I taught at the college level psychology prior to serving. I said, that's sounding even less plausible than your marksmanship career, just given the sentence here, which means this is just not how one would state that. And he says, why should I not hear what they have to say? I said, you should be asking them to actually prove and demonstrate their model. A standard FE's demand of science, yet refuse to hold themselves to the same standards. After all, this is science and math. And this ain't my first day hearing someone claiming not to be a flatty, kiddo. But this was funny. Now he came back with 2 bits here. Two big ass bits, and no, I'm not going to read all through them. Okay, but I'm going to give you my responses to them. What do you call it? Because I put a little bit on here, but the bottom part's just data. What do you call it? He pegged me. He says, you need to upload YouTube videos to be capable of doing research now. And I said, I never said you did. I said, but science. But since you failed to state where your research can be found and reviewed, the only place I can look is on your YouTube channel. And since you don't have any independent research there, concluding only FE, it is demonstrated that you have no research. And then he went on here, I talked to colleagues, I talked to friends, I talked to workmates, blah, blah, blah. That's his research, right? Those are his words. And he goes,
Yeah, even then, it's anecdotal at best.
Right. And he says, that's my research. And I said, sorry, I could say that I went to the moon and had fried chicken with Elvis. But until I show this actually occurred, it carries about as much weight as your claims of research. Then his second point was, I don't have to qualify my service. Right? He decided that he was going to try and get offended about the fact that he seemed to have been associated with the military. Now, this guy is obviously not American, just given his word usage, and that's not meant to be a hit. I'm just saying he's not an American. What do you call it? So maybe somebody in my chat and highlight my name if you know what this meant. Where is it? Hold on a second here. He says, I don't have to qualify my service to a little troll punks like you, but joined the NA at age 15. Entered the UK HRM RMCs at age 24, based out of Plymouth. Uh, I come from a long-standing and large service family. Now I don't know. I don't know what NA is.
I suppose that stands for National Army.
Yeah, but can you join that in the UK at 15?
No idea. And I'm just checking whether there is actually a national army in Great Britain, whether it's called that way. So it looks like there isn't. There's one in Ireland, Syria, Colombia, Guatemala, Uruguay, and Venezuela. Those
Okay.
are the only armies apparently that are translated as national army.
Okay. Well, he joined. Apparently, he joined that at 15. Then he became part of the UK HRM RMCs at age 24. But apparently, somewhere in there, he was a psychology teacher in college. And oh no, Bo, you're gonna see in a second. He actually answered that question when he started teaching college. And let's see. So here we go. Just to answer that question, yeah, I taught at the college level. Went straight from my private prep school at age 16 to college. Well, how were you in your 16 in private prep school and in the military at 15? Unless that's just an association, as in kind of like ROTC or something like that. But what do you call it? Went straight from private prep school at age 16 to college, and got a necessary A levels across various subjects, psychology, and being my PF, and what do you call it? And got a teaching degree several years later. But you were already in the military. You said you were a psychology teacher before you went into the military. So in that, it doesn't even work anyway.
Yeah, you can summarize it up. His timeline is fucked beyond repair.
Right. And by the way, lived within 30 different countries does not mean that you trained their militaries and their police. But, which he claimed that he did. Let's see. So, getting back to where we're at here, that's I don't have to qualify my service. I said you never said you had to, but you made claims here you made claims that you have shot things at 4,000 meters, when the current world record for a hit from a rifle is less than 3,500 meters. That's was a shooter in Canada, and what do you call it? And I put additionally, every military rifleman's handbook, when gathering shot information, also called dope, accounts for about 10 things in their long range shot before sending a round down range.
You know, I already made this joke in the side chat, but I'm gonna repeat it live on air. I'm pretty sure that he's in the special forces.
The
Get it?
special,
Special
forces,
forces.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
They don't come in a helicopter, they come in a short bus. But let's see here. Uh,
You know, you mean one of those which has like a wheelchair ramp and one of those glass panel thingies to roll them up like a big retarded pope?
well, it could be.
Or as the Catholics would say, like the Pope.
But I said among those things are the rotation of the Earth due to flight time. You seem to think that you simply place your sights and you're dead is a thing. That is something that a child or a TV show would say. Plus, I've been in and associated with the United States Army for nearly 30 years.
Oh, so wait, so now he's U.S. American apparently.
No, this is me. This is me.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
And yes, I am a U.S. American.
Yeah, I know.
But no, I'm reading this back to, or I'm responding to him. I said that's something for a child or a TV show to say, as far as just putting your sights on something. Plus, I've been in and associated with the U.S. Army for nearly 30 years. I have been around all branches of combat arms, folks, and I have qualified with 12 different weapons. Only one of which I got less than expert on, and that was I think that was the machine gun, the German machine gun in the mid '90s. Uh,
MG3.
that was why I only got a silver Schützenschnur instead of the gold. What do you call it? Which really pissed me off. But yeah, you get what you get. Plus, the silver one looked better.
Was it the one with the changeable barrel?
I don't. Well, they all change. You can change the barrels on all machine guns. Otherwise,
On the fly?
well,
I don't think the newest ones can.
really?
Yeah, I think the cooling system is good enough to basically to have them fire all the time without them overheating.
Well, I'm going to claim not knowing on the newest one, but I do remember that we had to change the barrel on the one that we did use, and plus it had a what do you call it? And then the rifle had the clear magazine, which everybody thought was really cool. So
Yeah, the plastic one.
yeah, so you can actually see through it. But what do you call it? I said I've been around all what do you call it? Or excuse me, I've qualified with more with 12 weapons, and not one person uh, I have ever associated with would make the claims that you have, as they are either not possible or just simply wrong. And then he turns around. He says, "This was part of his comment above." He says, "Don't question my or any other vet's service until you've had your own arse on the line." Okay, now if this guy was in the military, he was maybe tops, he was like finance or some shit like that. The guy who cut your LES. I turned around and I said, "Slow your roll, kiddo. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. Your service was never questions. Your claims were." And then I also put on here, said, "No educator would ever claim themselves as a college level teacher of psychology, as opposed to what, high school level or middle school level?" And then he had actually put up in here. Let me show that he actually wrote this. Where was it? Because it caught my eye. I mean, being in the military long enough, acronyms catch your eye. What do you call it? It says varying between my 308 AI-AR, 338 ML AI-AW, and 50 BMG SA80 platforms, and the AI and SB tactical optics. I shot all kinds of stuff out beyond 4,000. Tanks, APCs, or excuse me, MVCs, APCs, tanks, MAUs, human beings, and whatever the hell else I was ordered or cleared the fuck out, cleared the fuck to shoot and terminate.
Okay, so he's claiming that he shot people over 4,000 meters
Yep, everything.
with what I suppose are sniper rifles, because I'm not
Oh
familiar with those
man, you're
designations.
gonna love this, man. No, not sniper rifles. You're gonna love. Well, I think one of them
Well,
is.
50 BMG, I thought,
Yeah,
is
the
the.
yeah the 50 BMG is. So I listed, I mean, because I looked it up, I wanted to find out what the effective range was. Is it even plausible, the words that he's saying? Okay, these are the maximum effective ranges for these weapons. 308 AIAR, the maximum effective range is approximately 1,000 meters. Okay. The 338 ML, maximum effective range, 800 meters. The BMBG, maximum effective range is approximately 1,800 meters. Now, mind you, it can, what do you call it? Its maximum range period comes up just short of 4,000 meters. But the funny part is that means that basically, if you were standing at 4,000 meters, you could probably catch the bullet.
Yeah, because basically the bullet is slowed down
It will have died
over
by
time
then.
because of air resistance.
Right. Okay, hold on a second here. UKHA HRMRCs is a United Kingdom, Her Royal Majesty's Royal Marine Cadets. So yeah, he was ROTC. You weren't in the military at 15, fucktard. Let's see here. So let's see. You were in ROTC, which is great, but that's not being in the military. It's a prep, sure, but that's it. And the SA-80 maximum effective range is about 400 meters. I said, tell me again that you were bullseyeing stuff from beyond 400 or 4,000 meters. Hell, the maximum effective range of all of those weapons combined is 4,000 meters. And that was actually a humorous coincidence. I said, sorry, bud. You talk a good talk, but nothing of what you claim adds up. Might be best if you just stop here. And that was a couple hours ago. That was 3 hours ago. He hasn't responded yet. And if he was UK, he's in our time zone, so he should have been responding if he had something to back
Well,
that up.
but remember, he's in a different country at the moment. One of those other 30 that he was talking about.
That's true. He's got all that high speed training he's got to do. Fucking morons. But
That's an insult to morons.
yeah, that's true. Morons are better than that. Now here's funny. This is funny. Mike Blackbird again. These effing scumbags blocked me. Great poofed, whatever that, smack my fucking head.
I think that's shaking my fucking head.
Oh, okay. Well, I prefer to think of him smacking his head. Let's see. Now all of my new comments from Mike Flatbird, so he's admitting that he had a second account in here, are getting ghosted. I don't know what ghosted means. Out of public view, and only I can see them. Right? And what do you call it? QED turned around and he's like, I see you. What's the problem? Like that. He says, this channel might not permit links. If you're doing that, use your words. And then bird shit is a liar and all this other stuff. And I said, and I thought I'd ask him again. I was like, you still see the comments in your feed? Because we've done that research. What do you call it? But now what's funny is this is where it gets really good, because if they had actually blocked that thing, then all of his comments would have disappeared. Okay, so going into the next one here, let's see, Sailor Pawn. I don't remember what I got in. Oh, the only reason why I really brought this one up is because here's Mike Flatbird. his comments are still here, so I don't really know what the thing was. And then my summary of this entire thread was somebody obviously missed the word objective in the discussion, because he was talking about he pulled objective out of what Dr. Tyson said and just basically called it truths. And if you just use the word truths, then you get into subjective other crap. Scott Marrow, the guy who blocked me and what do you call it, and then thought it was fun to just keep on trying and talking on my chatting on my channel. What do you call it? No one can shut down flat earthers because the burden of proof lies on the one making the claims. And I said, thank you. He says, and we aren't claiming that we're on a spinning ball. Now, I just actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and refresh. Let me see if he responded. Hold on. Ads. Oh, somebody did. Hold on. Because I wrote way down at the bottom here. No, he didn't. Okay, I said burden of proof lies with the one making the claims, and you are claiming that the Earth to be flat. You're it. I mean, it's just Let's see. I've argued with the same people in this thread hundreds of times on every flat Earth video they can find. Oh wait, yeah. Where did he say it? How do you paid trolls find these videos and comments? Well, you're here too, dude. Sorry, Scott. You're kind of digging your own hole on that one. You're already here too. And what do you call it? Somebody else busted him out on that. He says, I'm not sure. You'd have to ask a paid troll. But let's see here. Todd Walker. Oh yeah. What an arrogant. Now he's talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson. He says, what an arrogant clown. And way to think. Some debates are won by subjective factors. Therefore, no debate is worthwhile. Embarrassing. This is a big thing. When you're talking about subjective issues, yes, but we're talking, flat Earth versus the shape of the Earth is not a subjective issue; it's an objective issue. So, kind of need to get that one straight there, bud. And then, of course, Dearth showed up.
That one's already great.
I mean, it falls apart just knowing it's Dearth. But he turns around, ha 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 ha. Neil has the charisma and zero facts on the side of the debate. This is Dearth saying this. Okay, Dearth. And what do you call it? And let's see.
First answer is already perfect.
Yeah, you're projecting. And then let's see. Okay, Blackbird. And I turn around and said, yes, Dearth. The guy who thinks the sun disappears due to a raised ocean, or due to a blurry video, With a solar filter, that's not a solar filter. Pretty simple. Anybody who's looked at his stuff, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. What do you call it? And then of course, here comes Sly Snake. Now, I get so happy when I get asked this. So happy. In fact, so happy I'm even going to blow it up some more so everybody can see it real clear. Okay. Go take an art class about perspective and convergence, aka vanishing point and point of convergence. Perspective ramp, whatever the fuck that is. Let's see. The ground looks like it rises, and things like street lamps seem to lower themselves towards the ground. When you are looking up, or when you are looking down up a street at night, derp. Well, here's the. Now, most of you already know this, but I'm going to call it for those of you who don't. I actually have a degree in commercial art. Okay, I know, and I put on here, I am fully aware of what perspective and vanishing points are, which require the objects to reduce greatly in size before vanishing. Yet, since this does not include the crossing of parallel lines, perspective itself is a self-defeating argument for flat Earth. In other words, parallel lines never cross. Therefore, for the sun to go down, it would have to actually reduce to a size that you could no longer see it. Yet we can all view beautiful sunsets. So that would have to mean that before it gets to a vanishing point, those parallel lines, meaning you on the ground and the sun on its apparent orbit above the flat Earth, those lines would have to cross. Here was his response. If it's on the same if it's on the same linear plane as the observer, it will. But we're talking about this case. You're not on the same plane level. Man, this is just all jumbled up. You're not on the same plane with the sun, which is a duh moment. It's not like a train going away on some train tracks that you're on the same linear plane as them, or a car going away from you. It's on the same linear plane, but not the sun. In this case, the case of celestial perspective, the sun in this case is higher up than you. It will not shrink to a dot or a pixel unless it travels upwards away from the observer. In other words, vertically. Or else it will get physically obstructed way before it's far enough away from you to shrink. Derp. And you ain't got an effing degree in art. You talk a whole lot of poop, dude. Let's see. Go back to bed, sleepwalker. Yes, I do have a degree in commercial art. I learned old school commercial art, as a matter of fact, when it came down to ruby lift and paste ups and actually hand laying things out before it became computers. And as a matter of fact, the reason why I never really got a job in commercial art is because of the fact that everything was in the process of transferring over to computers. Things like Harvard Graphics and things like that, desktop publishing came out, of which unfortunately was not part of my degree. So therefore, I was being outdone by people who actually took the computer courses. I know.
That's fucking annoying.
And plus, on top of that, he's already admitting here that perspective has multiple vanishing points when it comes to drawing three-dimensional objects. If you were to draw a building, now, Geo, if you were to draw a building, let's just say you wanted to draw just a tall perfect rectangle building. Okay.
Okay.
How many vanishing points due to perspective? Because vanishing point actually is a term in art in artistic perspective. How many vanishing points would you have to align for that image of that thing? Let's say the image was of you standing at ground level looking up at this building.
3.
3?
Yeah, I think if you want to make it completely realistically, you need all 3.
It's actually four. One to the left, one to the right, one to the horizon, and one straight up. Now you could actually talk about one straight
To
down,
the
but we're
horizon.
talking
Yeah,
about
okay, right,
but we're
right.
actually
You're
talking
completely
about you
right. Yes.
being level with him. So there's four vanishing points. And he's actually kind of admitting that, upwards and away from the observer. Okay, which is basically destroying his whole argument anyway. So he turned around and he says, "You're not on the same plane with the level plane as the sun." And I quoted him back on that. And I said, if flat Earth, and if you are on the ground, and the sun is in the air, neither are changing altitude, that constitutes two parallel lines. Enter the word parallel, which you claims crosses. Sorry, pal, you can't just make up new rules. And then about an hour later, I said, "Was I not supposed to actually answer your echoed claim?" You know. So as far
Just
as
to rub it in a little bit.
yeah, I mean, I love it when they don't have anything to say. But sorry, Blackbird. Yes, I actually do have a degree in commercial art. I do. It's actually one of my loves, but unfortunately, never became a career. So, and then hold on. There we go. Oh, that's right, because it juiced up here. And then Mark Sargent also showed up. Now I didn't get involved in this one. I just actually noticed this just before I started the live here.
Wait, before you continue, is this actually the real Mark Sargent or a clone channel? Just to make
Uh,
sure.
it is the real Slim Shady.
Yep.
All right, so let's see here. Thank you for introducing your subscribers to the flat Earth concept. For anyone who is curious, ask yourself, how do I know it's a globe without using a space agency? Well, that was rule number one when I got involved in this, and I haven't had to use NASA once. Let's see. It's harder than you think. Do your own research and never stop asking questions. Long live flat Earth. Now, of course, he doesn't respond to anybody, so when anybody else, "Hey, MG, what's going on, bud?" What do you call it? So, it's... oh, wait, what was this now? Hold on a second. Wait, who is he? Okay. Paul Schober, I know him. MG, I know him. Noah Caucus. And of course, somebody just jumps in. "Your balls are weak, little man." Let's see. "Thanks for the childish replay and admitting defeat." Correct. I do admit you are defeated. Yeah, okay. Liking your own comments too. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to be a dick. MG, among other things, he's a very intelligent guy, but it's also, I want to call it, one of my favorite bouncers in my comment section. And here you go again, Mike Flatbird. Your stuff's still here, buddy. So claiming that you were removed is just not following itself. So, and then this was the last one. Yeah, what do you call it? I said I've read every single flat earther comment here. At that point, I said I've read every single flat earther comment here. All of you, or all of whom prove exactly what Dr. Tyson's point. If you cannot bring up objective facts, which is testable, repeatable, and falsifiable, to a debate, then there is no debate. Objective facts are not open to interpretation or opinion. Every single FE I have seen here is armed only with opinion. So thank you to the flat earthers who showed up to substantiate Dr. Tyson's point. And thank you for supporting the globe. And then, what do you call it? I got a couple of responses on here like "Black Swan hurts bad, don't it?" And I said, "Well, yeah, if you know what it means, it doesn't hurt all that bad." What do you call it? And then who else was in here? And then Hip Hop Hippie. What do you call it? How is the horizon the result when it is your curve? And I just put them on here. I said, "Horizon and curve, that's just your deliberate ignorance regarding even the simplest geometry." Let's see. Oh, what's up, Dane Joss? Do you know what? I I'm gonna make a prediction, man. No. But anyway,
Well, I don't think the guy is gonna answer anymore to this.
he probably won't. But so basically, through this long discussion and detailed uh, portions of just the flat earthers that I got involved with in this particular comment thread, all I really wanted to point out here is exactly what Dr. Tyson said in here is exactly what the flat earthers did here. They brought nothing to the discussion. They brought no facts. They brought no proofs. They brought no experiments. They brought nothing. They brought proof. Proof is your responsibility, not mine. Everybody's a liar. You guys are all sheeple. A couple of lies in there, and just everything that we've all come to know and expect and love from flat earthers. That's basically it. There was nothing else there. I mean, even Dearth had the balls to show up. Oh man. But I mean, there's nothing else really to say. It was just nothing more than um, just empty comments from flat earthers claiming that they had something to say when they really didn't.
Well,
And
honestly, did you expect anything else apart from, well, basically opinion? Did you expect any one of the flat earthers to bring anything substantial to the table?
well, you know what? No.
Yep, there we go. That's what I expected.
But there was two other comments on there from non-flat earthers that I would like to just echo, and unfortunately I couldn't find them when I was going diving through there because I was kind of rushing here to get here on time. What one of the comments was having a debate with a flat earther is like playing chess with a pigeon. Said the pigeon will knock over all the pieces, take a shit on the board, and then strut around like he won. And
Yeah, didn't you know that expression?
no, I'd actually never heard it before.
Holy shit, seriously?
No, sorry, didn't never heard
Yeah,
it before.
I've known for that expression for like a decade.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
it's super common.
I did not know that. Hold on a second. Is the internet broken tonight? All the cool kids are coming to watch Slice Arcane. Yeah, well, it must be broken, because not everybody comes watch my shit. But what do you call it? But the other comment that was on here, and I've said this actually since the very beginning because people like to ask me why I do this. I mean, seeing that there's really no gain to it, I mean, I'm not here to convert any flat earthers because flat earthers, refuse to be converted because once you fuck with somebody's belief, you're not going to get them back. What do you call it? That's just what it is. So as soon as they find something that caters to their belief, they're just not going to let go of it. But this is why I do this, and I've said this a couple of times. Myself, a father of two, I have two great kids who I love to death, and they are growing up in a world of social media. And social media being, I mean, like I said, it's not like something like you saw what they what they want to watch on TV and stuff like that. They can look this up in their lunch break at school or at work. Okay, I don't. And what concerns me is because of the fact that things are going more into a sampling state as opposed to actually researching things, sitting down with a book and hearing somebody's complete thoughts. People are more samplers now. They'll grab a little piece here and they'll grab a little piece there. And it's dangerous to society and it's dangerous to the logical mind to actually bring up stuff and try and claim that it's true when you have nothing to support it. But if you do it in a charismatic way, or you do things like you delete people from your channel, what do you call it, from your YouTube channel, trying to make sure that you get rid of any objective arguments, people who are actually discussing the subject matter and able to disprove it, even if they're just sitting on the can writing on their phone. If you get rid of all those arguments, and I will clearly say people like Globebusters, FE Core, D Marble, what do you call it, and various others, Mr. Thrive and Survive, all the more should I say relatively popular names in Flat Earth do exactly that, so that all of their comment sections are filled with people who seem to support them. So therefore, it gives away this kind of aura of everything I'm saying is right because look, nobody disagrees with me. So,
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I don't ban people from my channel for saying bullshit.
mm,
Because I think the best thing you can do is show that, first of all, present their wrongness as broadly as possible.
mm,
And you also notice what kind of people you're talking to when you take a look at their channels. As soon as you see that they are censored,
mm,
um, you can be pretty certain that those people are wrong in one way or another,
yep. And
and that they know it.
what's even more funny is the people who are actually producing content out there. I don't block them. What do you call it? Now, I have, of course, have blocked several people from my thing only because of the fact that they come in there just to spam all over the place and what do you call it? Just try and piss people off and basically offer nothing to the discussion. Now, something else that I would also like to point out in the very same thing of uh, the Dr. Tyson video is that it's also the reason why I still have an open debate challenge out. And I have its termination date set for the 14th for Valentine's Day. Um,
Why that? That's a weird termination date.
and it was just 2 weeks later. That's all it was. And it's just coincidence. But,
Right.
and not one flat earther, because I only see the difference between me. Now, people like Reds are extremely good verbal debaters. Okay, and don't get me wrong, he's also an awesome producer of content. But what do you call it? But Red is also an awesome verbal debater. In other words, he can sit there and and he'll have that talk with you, and all this, and he'll destroy you, just on the merits that you bring, you know. Now, me personally, I'm not that good at the social portion of this. Um,
Oh, I know the feelings lie.
yeah. And I'm more about, well, let me test that out. Let me model that out. Let me measure that out. Let me analyze that. I mean, right now I have something on the table that I'm supposed to analyze, which I'm sure other people have probably already done. The stuff from Red Pill Philosophy, the hotels. I think Red already did that, but it was brought up to me by Jose, or excuse me, in Jose's show by Plain Truth, who loves to just, go bonkers. Him and Chris Berry, Mr. Couch Cushion. And, but, I said, I didn't shy away from it. I'm like, okay, I'll take a look at it and I'll give you an analysis of it. And because that's the part I like. I like the science part. And what I'm trying to do is I try and make sure that people see that the comments, or excuse me, the claims that are made by flat earthers, unchallenged, might sound pretty good. However, until you actually sit there and work them out, if you model them out, if you do the math on it, if you build a model and try and test it out, if you knock out the the difference between drop and hidden heights, and things like that, and if you whittle away their misuse of terminologies, what do you call it? Then you reveal that flat Earth basically has nothing. It's nothing more than an argument that is made from absolute idiots who refuse to do any of their own actual research. They'll sit there and do 3 hour hangouts and say, "Oh, everybody's lying to you," and you can also make a convincing argument because of the fact that I mean, because of how much CGI that actually exists today in the entertainment industry alone. You could say, it doesn't exist because it can be faked. Well, the
Yeah, but
ability,
even then you can go back to old data that's still available.
right. And plus, the ability, today's ability to fake something does not make everything fake. I mean, I remember, what do you call it? It wasn't too long ago when they were making the Shrek movies. I remember watching the behind the scenes content, and they were like, "Yeah, we had to dial it back a little bit as far as the animation goes because we were actually able to make it look like it was real." Even though I mean, we're talking about cartoon type characters and stuff like that, but they had actually made them to a point that the appearance of them was actually looked physically real. And what do you call it? They said we had to dial it back a little bit.
It's
Uh
like, remember, that was 20 years ago.
huh. Oh,
Just compare the first Toy Story movie to the new one, to the fourth one.
mm.
It's
Well,
absolutely incredible what
well,
has been happening in those 20 or 25 years.
well. My father had brought home a copy on VHS, I think, of the what the hell was that? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank right now, but the first actual CGI short clip that was ever made, and it was this dude and a bumblebee. What do you call it? And people were amazed at that stuff. And right now, you look at that, and I was like, dude, man, I got better than that on my phone, you know. But I mean, it's just that was the awesome stuff. And what do you call it? And if you look back to older movies from the '80s, like Tron, that was cutting edge stuff back then and all this. And you're trying to say that people were faking the moon and faking the earth and all this other stuff with that? I'm pretty sure we weren't that gullible. But let's see here.
Yeah, good luck faking the moon landing with the equipment they had back then,
Right.
including obviously tracing the communications from independent, well, amateur astronomers, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's just it's so what I do is I like to make sure that I put out the information to show that somebody is actually checking these claims, that somebody is actually modeling this out, who's actually holding flat earthers accountable for the claims that they have. That's why less and less claims exist. I'm not alone in this. There's plenty of other people who are doing it. But we're doing it not because we're looking to convert a flat earther, because like I said, you're not gonna, or at least they would have to. It wouldn't be your fault. What do you call it? But flat earthers are putting out bullshit information, unsubstantiated claims, false and sometimes completely fraudulent tests, etc. And somebody's got to hold them accountable for it. And I'm one of the people who does that. That's why I do this. I do this because of the fact that there's, regular science doesn't care about flat Earth. Okay? Most scientists don't give a shit about it. They cared a little bit about the moon hoax, which is probably why they sent that lunar observer satellite back in 2011, I think it was. They probably cared then, but as far as flat Earth, regular science doesn't give a shit about you. And
Yeah, that's actually a challenge. Find me one scientific paper that's based on flat Earth predictions that's made it into the scientific literature.
exactly. And you know what else I heard the
Spoiler
other
alert,
day,
there's one.
and I'm actually doing my own research on this to find out actually the full answer to this. But it actually, as it appears, there is no society in history that has ever actually claimed the Earth to be flat. Supposed, sure. Didn't have enough information, of course. Okay, but no, there's no nobody in history, no society in history has generally accepted the Earth to be flat. Now I've heard that in about three different places now, and I want to find out if it's true because one thing that I mean, we always get hit with the Bible. Okay, now the Bible, the only place that really actually talks about the shape of the Earth has to do with the Book of Genesis. All the rest of the stuff is metaphoric, unless you want to say that we're also a footstool. What do you call it? But
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the footstool reference was a little bit later.
yeah, but I mean,
I think
nevertheless,
the beginning of the Old Testament, though, so like first third of the Bible, I
right.
think.
But the only place that ever actually claims the Earth to be in some way flat, or at least with a dome over it, is the Book of Genesis.
Yeah, but let's be honest, the Holy Bible is just so full of absolute bullshit that there's no reason to take anything in there seriously in the first place.
Yeah, but the
I
other,
mean,
yeah,
it's claiming that when you have cows mating in front of striped sticks, that the cows will get striped calves.
actually, I never read that part, but
Yeah, it's even getting worse. There are
yeah,
worse examples of this. For
but
example, pi being three.
but nevertheless, I mean, today, even today's modern faithful, realize that there are fallacies and there are metaphors and there are inconsistencies in the Bible. It doesn't bring them away from God. And fine, if you want to be cool with God, that's your prerogative, and all this. But it still shouldn't uh, wave you away from knowing that the Earth is a sphere. Period. I mean, it's I mean, because there's really no place in there other than now. If you want to talk about creation theory versus Big Bang, yeah, you can have that talk, and you know what? It'll be an automatic stalemate because of the fact that we will never, ever, ever know which one was 100% correct.
I disagree. All
Uh,
creation
well, no,
theories,
no, but
as you call them, that have been presented have been disproven so far.
no, no. I'm not saying that it hasn't been worked, but what I'm saying is, to be completely empirical about it, we will never. Well, unless we develop a way to go back in time, we will never ever be able to know what happened. I mean, like I said, but that just turns it into a discussion of theism versus science, and to find out who it is that how the Earth came to be. And but even then, that's not even a discussion of what shape is the Earth. It's really not. So there's really nothing other than an interesting interpretation of the Bible and total ignorance of geometry.
Yeah, again, I don't care about about the Bible whatsoever. It makes no sense even talking about it
Mm-hmm.
once you establish that it contains a somewhat, well, how can I phrase this? That there's truth in it that cannot be found anywhere else,
Right,
right? It makes predictions that we can confirm later.
right.
Yeah, unless this is found, there's no reason to talk about it in a way that would describe it as a book of science instead of just literature at best.
Let's see. Hold on a second here. You have YACs wanting it taught in the schools, but you will never see scientists beating on a church doors wanting their side taught in Sunday school. Yeah, that's another thing. What do you call it? The overflow into certain genres about certain things. Whether you want to talk about flat Earth, you want to talk about various social issues or whatever. Um, to walk into, I'll just say it like this, and I'll try and keep it as general as possible. To walk into Burger King and demand that they serve a Big Mac is wrong. You, as the individual performing the activity, are wrong. So yes, science has no place telling the church what to teach, but the church has no place telling science what to teach. I mean, they're two totally different things, and what do you call it? And so it's just it becomes this whole thing of because I want it that way, and I'm sorry, but now if you wanted to bring, like I said, if a flat earther came up to me and actually had some kind of testable proof that even raised an eyebrow as I wonder if that's possible, then what do you call it? Then that would be an interesting discussion. But turning around and misusing words like perspective, and because perspective, the only reason why you have the words vanishing point and perspective is because it is an artistic technique for simulating three-dimensional worlds on two-dimensional paper. Period. That's all it is. You will not find it anywhere else. Beyond, outside of that piece of paper, the word perspective is actually a psychological term. That's it.
Right.
And what do you call it? So it's just, you know, so I do all this stuff just so I can, what do you call it? Number one, because I enjoy the challenge of trying to figure things out. I let the facts speak for themselves, and I follow those facts. And what do you call it? And I've said this before. I remember when I first got into this whole discussion of flat Earth and stuff, and I went up to the roof of the building I was living in, and I was about to do a test. What do you call it? And I remember actually stopping there for a second, and I was like, you know what? What if I have been lied to? I took it seriously for, well, probably about an hour. And then I went back down, I walked my dog, and then, what do you call it, ate dinner. And then as soon as I was done with dinner, I went back up, pulled my test back up, and had basically confirmed that the Earth is not flat and nothing about the flat Earth model works. Period. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble on about, philosophy and all this other bullshit, and nobody wants to hear all that stuff from me. But anyway, so Gio, I appreciate you stopping by. You got anything on the? You got anything coming up?
Yeah, there are two projects that I'm currently starting to work on. First of all, that Mark Sargent interview.
Yeah,
Have you watched it?
I watched about 3/4 of it now, and I was about to make a video with my own stuff rebutting it, but I'm
All right,
actually
yeah,
waiting on a permission
just
back
go
from.
ahead whenever. I might do a live stream about it, but I'm not sure yet.
Mhm.
That's one thing, and the other one. So in my last live stream with microbloganism and Smelly, we actually took a look at this bogus quote unquote university based in California, which is at best a diploma mill.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm taking a closer look at that. I'm trying to maybe get an interview with some of their professors, in air quotes.
Okay.
And apparently they are sending me some info material via mail because I asked them to.
Right.
And yeah, I'm pretty much planning to disassemble them. But that will take a few weeks at least. So keep looking forward to that.
Right. All right. Well, and then what do you call it? I was hoping to get this weekend. I was hoping to finish up Close Encounters of the Flat Kind 3, but unfortunately, bad weather kind of worked against that. I need a really clear day for that. And yes, Geo and I will be sometime in the relatively near future be doing be revisiting the bug experiment. What do you call it? Going back down and actually going to be doing the water experiment. This time a refined version, which I will be covering in a live hangout sometime soon, just to do a little bit of Q&A with anybody who's interested. Um, and there's also a sunrise and sunset coverage video that I put out a long time ago. It was like 3 years ago, but I never set it to any music, and and it was really good work. It's just it was not very entertaining to watch, and so I'm going to actually be recutting that. I mean, it's going to be all the same information. Nothing is going to change on it, but I'm actually going to be recutting that, putting some music to it, and re-releasing that prior to the equinox, because it does have to do with the equinox, and then I also have a video about books coming out. Uh, oh yeah, you'll
What
like
books?
you'll like it. And what do you call it? And that's not going to take very long, but it's going to piss off a lot of people. I'm sure. And one of the reasons I've been kind of held up the past couple of days is actually, you know what? I bet you I can show it here. Let me get my screen back up here again. Left screen. Let's see, transition. Let's see if I can get this up here. Hold on. As soon as that decides it's going to open. Basically, what I'm going to be showing here is my webcam, because it's actually pointing at it right now. Let's see.
Ah, you talking about the gyroscope thing?
It's a what do you call it? I am making a pan and tilt mount, remote controlled pan and tilt mount for the P1000. Let's see here. Full HD webcam. Play. What? Oh, it's because OBS is on. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Okay, well I won't be. Well, then I should be able to. No, my camera would be off on this one. I can't put my cam on that one. Oh well, screw it. Anyway, I'm working on a completely custom designed pan and tilt mount for remote control usage for the P1000. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've been printing and printing and printing and printing. Oh my God, I've almost used an entire spool of PLA
Holy
just
shit.
on just
That's,
on this device.
are you using the standard 1 kilogram spools?
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and
That's how much printing time? Maybe about a week?
it's been over a week now. Basically, I go to bed at night. I set a print in place. I wake up in the morning. Usually, I think the longest prints that I've had have been about 6.5 hours each for
Yeah.
pieces. And what do you call it? And then I wake up in the morning. I'll set another print off. I'll go to work. I'll come home at lunch. I'll take that one off and then set another print off and then come home from work. You know, I mean, it's just my printer has earned its money. And what do you call it? But it's
Currently trying to diagnose mine. So it has been dysfunctional for about half a year or so at this point, and I just didn't have the time to diagnose it. Looks like the power supply is broken.
well,
At least that's what I hope.
and
I
right
hope it's
now
PCB because that would be annoying as fuck to repair.
and right now I have the what do you call it? I've been working on the gearboxes, the servo gearboxes. Oh, well, actually, I can do this. Watch this.
Yeah, I can see it.
This is the mount that I'm building. This right here is several parts. What do you call it? And but it's going to be, like I said, fully remote controlled. It will be able to rotate 360 degrees. It will be able to tilt also completely 360 degrees, unless you have cables hanging off the camera for whatever reason. Uh,
I don't like the way in which the camera is attached to it. Is it just Velcro or is there some extra mounting system
well, no,
there?
there's a screw mount on the bottom,
Okay.
but what do you call it? And but this Velcro is an additional thing that goes actually through the bottom plate. That secures it in the middle, and the whole thing is balanced. This is actually there's a bolt over on this side over here. This is actually the center of balance of a fully zoomed in P1000. Um,
Nice.
so I actually sat there and balanced it out, had it rolled out on things, to find out where the balancing points were, both horizontal and vertical. Yeah, it'll just to reduce the amount of load that was going to be on the servos for rotating it, because I mean the P1000 is not a lightweight camera.
Hey, that's the reason why you called it Big Willie.
Yeah, but and there's just been I think I have a portion of the guts here. Yeah, that's the interior of the base, and those are .50 what do you call it, slingshot balls as the bearings, and which turns out they work just fine. These right here are bearings for the rotation, to keep the collar in place, and those are from fidget spinners. So I mean, it's amazing what you can reuse to do things. But no, this is some pretty big stuff that I've been working on, and it's just been relentless, trying to get all this stuff together, piece at a time. Currently, right now, if I were to count it out, I would say there is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 28, 29, about 32 individual prints so far, and just to get the parts together. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And you just get to live through its creation because of the fact that um, it just goes a piece at a time. So it's a lot of fun. But anyway, so I got nothing else. I'm rambling, and what do you
Neither
call
do
it?
I.
And so let's go ahead and wind this up, and I hope everybody has a pleasant evening. Well, that didn't work, did it? One of these days I'm going to get this thing to work right.
Well, you're not showing anything anymore, but the stream is still running.
Yeah, I know, but
You have to go to the live center thingy. You know, the new studio?
yeah, hold on a second. Well, no, I wasn't looking at killing it. Not yet. What I'm looking to do.
But you might kill it. Ah, there we go. Okay.
Okay, so hold on a second here. I know what I need to do.
You didn't mute us.
No, I didn't. All right.
You should have.
So let's see. Really? What's wrong? What's wrong with that? What the heck? All right. Well, everybody, just pretend you heard a big boom. And I hope you guys all have a great night. All right. Where'd that shit go? Holy crap! Where the hell is everything? There we go. And we get over here. Y'all have a nice night.